Back to Feel Good Firewood. My name is Scott. Today we're going to do a review of our Japa 365 Pro Road. We've had this machine for about 3 years now. It's been very good to us. We did buy it from Metza Machines. I bought it from Bob Nelson back when he was there. He is now at Wolf Ridge, but he was wonderful to deal with. It's just great experience there. But yeah, so that's where we bought this from a few years ago, 3 years ago, and it's been great. So give you a little walk around and explain what I like and what I don't like about it. The log lift, this is very nice. We don't have a tractor. We'd love to have a tractor. If you want to sponsor us, we'll take a tractor. But if you already have a tractor, if you have a Bobcat, skid steer, get a live deck if you want to get this. But the log lift works great. We just roll the logs up. We just have them delivered truckload, and then we just roll them up, put them up here, and it puts them through. No issues with this. It's been a very, very great cost-effective way of using bolts of wood. Belt that it drives on, again, no issues with that. That has been great. This is a very safe machine. My children run this. When you lift this lid, everything in here that's going to hurt you shuts off. You can still lower the chain, but the chain will not operate. And you can raise and lower the knife, but the ram will not operate. It's just safety-wise, we love it. I work in the utility industry, and safety has always been very high priority. So this is a great machine if you're safety minded. Control-wise, we got our log lift. Then we can split, move it back and forth, raise and lower the knife height, adjust the pressure of the knife, and then do the manual split. The newer ones that they have now, the Plus, they did change a few things. I think this doesn't have a solid stop now, it's on a chain. They flared these ends. I think this has a little bit different design to it. Some nice upgrades, but this one, it works great, and I think Japa just keeps getting better. So we have had 3 oilers that have failed, and there was a ball in there that was sticking, and this last one is actually a new design. So the guys at Metza sent me another one, and we have had no issues since then. And I don't think we probably will anymore with that. I think they got that figured out. We have done a few different bars. I'm still actually running one that Bob had sent me to try, and that's been working great. Chain-wise, if you have a new chain on there, we can do about 10 cords of wood before it needs to be sharpened. It's really amazing the amount of wood we can go through. The one complaint I do have is this is a 15-inch chain that I cannot find locally. I've had some made. Otherwise, I have to get them online, or we've been in Wisconsin a couple times, or Bob had come over to the, I think we have the North Star Expo, and I've gotten some from him there. But yeah, it's a very, very good machine that way. We do run the 4-way, 6-way, and 8-way knife. They all work very well. We do like that. I'm trying to think here on this side. Nice platform, good tires. We've ran this quite a few different places around to do wood at other locations in our wood yard, and it works good. Again, like I said, these are flared out more on the new Plus models. I have had a few logs get jammed up in there, but it's not too often. We dial our wood down with our logger. We've got it to where he brings us pretty much everything under 9.5 inches is about the biggest we like to go, and so we really don't have a lot of jams. We have put some right to the max 14 inches through here, and if they go a little crooked, yeah, you can jam up, but for the most part, it'll split pretty much everything we've thrown at it. Elm, you pretty much have to go down to the 4-way. It just gets a little nasty on that stuff. Conveyor, love the conveyor. Any splitter, anything that I ever would have going forward would be required to have a conveyor. This saves more time than anything. It really does. Even if you had a regular splitter, the conveyor, you just stop all the handling. It just puts it where you want it, whether it's in the dump trailer or if you could put it over a firewood bin or whatever. It's just great. It is a rubber belt. That works good. They have some laminated lugs on them, if you want to call them that, or straps that catch the wood. I have had one come off that I need to put back on, and it just looks like it pulled through with the bolts. So when I tip it up, it puts some slack in there, so I should be able to get behind that and fix that without any issues. Coming back around this side, I've done this several times, and my wonderful son has stopped me from doing it several times. If this is underneath and you haven't moved it out of the way and you start to lower your conveyor, you will put a little dent in there, but that's pretty thin and I could bend it back, but I keep bending it, so no sense in to keep fixing it. 6-gallon gas tank. It is a boat style with a quick release. I usually just fill it with another can. Honda IGX 700. This has been a great motor. Very easy to change the oil on. Just right down here, and then a spin-on filter in the back. And then you got your air cleaner under here. So we change ours about every 50 hours just because it's cheap. It only takes a few quarts, and yeah, so it's just good to keep these things good if you can. It does use a fair amount of gas. I would probably say you're over a gallon a cord, so it does work. I mean, that motor is driving the conveyor, the log lifter, the splitter, the saw, so it is doing a lot. It's got a fan, hydraulic operated fan there for the cooling. Sorry, electric. That one's electric. And there is a nice shut off here to shut the battery off when you're away. Otherwise, if it was to be a really, really hot day and this thing warmed up, the fan could potentially kick on and drain your battery. Probably one of my biggest dislikes on this one is the jack. This is a strange jack, and for whatever reason, if you're just a little out of kittywampus, you can actually run out of room to move that up before you start running into this. Now, one of these days I probably will flop it to the other side. That might help, or move it out a ways. But yeah, it's a goofy jack. Other than that, I don't have any big complaints. It's just been such a good machine. And the cost of these machines compared to what you're going to buy on some of the other processors, it's quite a bit cheaper. And for what we make smaller split wood. And we have a couple restaurants, gas station, and several customers, and everybody likes the smaller split wood. It is more for fireplaces. We burn wood ourselves. We actually prefer smaller split over the large stuff in our wood stove. We can get more in there, and it actually seems to burn longer. It dries better. There's just a lot of benefits to that. So unless you have really big wood, and then you're going to be doing a lot of resplitting if you want smaller stuff, these processors are just, they're dialed in for making that type of wood. When this thing is folded up, it's very, very short, very portable. It's almost impossible to back up if you can't see it because it is so short, but once you get it where you need to be, it's a really good machine. I can't remember what it weighs, somewhere in that 3,000, 3,500 pound range probably. Yeah, I would buy this machine again. I know Joe from Ohio Woodburner has the 405 with the perfect split. That would be a great machine too for the same kind of wood. But it's quite a bit more money now, and I suppose it depends how many cords a year you're going to be putting through it and what kind of wood you can get. So I'll show you our wood supply here. Never mind the weeds, it's been a little bit since we've been making wood, but again, this is all ash, and we've got it dialed in to that 9.5 or less, so it makes quick wood, and this machine is just ideal for that. So if you can do that, you know, this is, like I say, a great machine. And when we started with our logger, we had some bigger stuff, but we worked to get it down. In fact, I actually pay him extra for sorted wood, where he dials it down to the size we want, and you won't see really any punky wood in here at all. So we pay a little bit more per cord, but our waste went from about 20-25% down to maybe 1-2% at best. So we're paying more, but we're getting a higher yield of good sellable firewood. So it's actually a wash, if not a savings, by paying extra. So that is something to think about. But again, the Japa is a wonderful machine. I wouldn't hesitate getting one. If you want a processor to get into the business, it's a great way to go. We decided to go with this out of the gate because I work full-time. We knew kind of about the amount of wood we wanted to do a year, and we looked at it kind of as an investment. We bought it, you know, COVID was still kind of a thing at that time. Everything was hard to find, things were going up. So we knew at that time buying this, we would never probably lose any money on it. It's just the way the economy was at the time, and they have gone up quite a bit since we bought this one. So even at the price today, I think it's still a great value. I've seen the prices of some of the larger ones, and wow, you've got a lot of justification there to do that, because when you're thinking of the wood business, you have something to make the wood. You have trailers, your truck, depending on how you're delivering. You've got just miscellaneous tools. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you wind up buying. We actually picked up a super split used. Got a pretty good deal on that. Because every now and then, if we do get a bigger piece, you might have a few little resplits. But things add up, and so you do get a lot of cost in this. But we're kind of set up for the long run, and I think it's going to be a really good investment for us. Again, I can't say anything really bad about the machine. It's a very simple machine when you're under the hood. It's tough enough to do everything we need it to do. I haven't seen anything quality-wise that I would worry that it's starting to fall apart. I mean, we got some faded stickers, and that's about the worst we can do. The powder coating is held up great. Again, it's a credible machine. So if you have any questions about it, just leave them in the comments. We'll try to do some videos here with it making some wood down the line, and show you kind of how it works and what our operation is about. But I appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next one.